In MMA, there's always been some new technique that has taken the sport by storm. This time, it's the same side combo against an opposite stance fighter. So if you're orthodox, you want to throw this against a southpaw. If you're southpaw, you want to throw this against an orthodox fighter. So to do this, you're throwing your power hand straight forward, not curved. It has to be straight. And following this is your power kick at the same leveled target. So if you're aiming for the head, you want to throw this both at the head. If you want to aim for the body, you're throwing this both at the body. This is a technique I've personally been talking about for years, and it's finally taken over the sport where top contenders, legends, and even champions are losing to this technique. We just saw former interim champion and lightweight legend Dustin Poirier get KO'd by it. We saw the streaking top contender Beneil Dariush get stunned twice by this. We even saw one of the greatest welterweights of all time and long-reigning champion Kamaru Usman lose his belt to this very technique. And it's not something that just came out of nowhere. People remember this as a signature technique from Whittaker's skill set. He throws it in every fight. But I like to give credit to Steve Wonderboy Thompson for creating a highlight reel moment of knocking out Dan Stidgen way back in 2012 with this. It might have been the first time we saw a fighter actually do it, but definitely in a highlight reel that everybody saw. But it's taken time for more than just karate fighters like Whittaker and Wonderboy to implement this same side combo. But why does this technique work so well? It's merely because it creates a new threat for opponents who slip on the outside of a straight. Slipping on the outside of straights is one of the basic fundamentals of boxing defense. Getting your head on the outside of the punch opens you up for the head kick to intercept you. You move your head out, now here's a shin coming your way, and you only have a split second to react. Not much power is even needed in this technique to cause devastating effects. When you saw Wonderboy knock out Dan Stidgen, he just slapped him with the foot and the guy fell like a ton of bricks. When fighters throw their power hand straight forward, remember it has to be straight, not curved, because if you're getting your opponent to move away from a curved punch, the curved punch is coming at the same trajectory or direction as the kick that you want to follow up with. So if you're orthodox and you're fighting a southpaw and you're throwing a right hook, your opponent is not going to slip on the outside of it. They will move away and on the opposite side of where you want to follow up with your kick. Remember, you want your opponent to lean their head or open that side up for your right kick to connect. Not to move away from that same trajectory. You want to move into it or open up their defenses. So by throwing your power hand straight forward, it gets your opponent to do a couple things to defend the punch. They will slip on the outside of it like Usman or Kelvin Gastelum did. This causes that interception as it forces the opponent to lean into the kick. But there's another defense. They might parry the power hand. They are separating their backhand away from their head, so now they cannot even block the round kick or it'll be way too late to do so. This is what happened to Dustin Poirier, and it allowed the kick to reach behind the head because he couldn't put up a good guard for it. One hand is not enough, and he got the hand there way too late. The other thing that they might do is that they might lean away from the straight, getting themselves off balance, which is going to make it more difficult for them to block the kick effectively. So they're able to lean away from the punch, but when you're leaning back like this, your balance is not equaled out. You're putting so much weight on your back foot, and if you try to block the kick, you don't have the kind of balance to brace for impact, and the kick is going to follow right through. This is what happened to Beneil Dariush when he fought Charles Oliveira. And it's why you saw that blowback. I mean, it happened twice in the fight where when Oliveira reached forward with the right straight, Beneil is southpaw, he tried to lean away from the punch, and look how much weight he's putting on his back foot. The kick sneaks around as Beneil did not see the kick coming at all. You cannot block a kick like this with one hand. It's going to get around it. And both times it hit Beneil Dariush, it's like he got pushed to the side from the kick. It's a beautiful technique that throws a wrench into the fundamentals that MMA fighters have been getting used to for decades. And now it's another wrinkle in the game that everybody needs to learn to both throw and defend against.